What a wild night in the NBA. In this latest chapter of the Dallas Mavericks saga, on Tuesday night, they break the NBA by winning the 2025 NBA Draft Lottery for the right to draft consensus #1 prospect Cooper Flagg in just 6 weeks. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with Spectator Sports, where we cover sports from a spectator's point of view. I'm your host Sebastian Fonseca. We are on the grind to 300 subscribers, and if you could do us a massive favor, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to get clips from more episodes or even clips here on YouTube, we got that for you in our various playlists, as well as on TikTok for now. And if you want to enjoy Spectator Sports from an audio perspective, we got that for you too. I'll link everything in the description, and let's break down the Dallas Mavericks winning the draft lottery. With this stunning development, there are conspiracy theories galore. Some speculate that the Mavericks made the Luka Doncic trade back in February to make the Lakers somewhat watchable whenever LeBron inevitably retires, as when Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles in the last 3 years of his career, it was him missing a lot of time due to various injuries. The Lakers became very unwatchable, and the Lakers weren't really even that relevant until LeBron James signed as a free agent back in 2018. And to cash in an IOU from Adam Silver, the Mavericks end up getting the #1 overall pick, at least according to conspiracy theories. Others have noticed that when LeBron left Cleveland for Miami, they won the lottery to get Kyrie Irving. Or when the Hornets traded CP3 to the LA Clippers, they got the top overall pick to draft AD. Or later in 2019, when AD demanded a trade request out of New Orleans, and the Pelicans won the draft lottery then to draft Zion Williamson. Now, the strangest part of the lottery is that under the current format, teams slated into the best odds to win the draft also have a significantly higher chance of landing outside the top 4, which unfortunately happened to the Utah Jazz and Washington Wizards, who finished at the bottom of the association but landed with the 5th and 6th picks respectively. The Wizards were one ball off of winning the lottery and now come oh so close yet again to drafting one of the best prospects in a generation. Back in 2019, they finished one ball off of drafting Zion Williamson, and in 2023, Victor Wembanyama could have been playing in the nation's capital. Before the night got started, there was still a tiebreaker to settle. Dallas and Chicago each finished with the same record, and it came down to a coin flip to determine who would have the 11th best odds and the 12th best odds. Dallas obviously won, jumping up 11 spots to the top overall pick, and it's crazy how they defied all odds to get into this position. Mavs fans, how are we feeling? These last few months have been a whirlwind for Mavericks fans, going from wishing Nico Harrison to be fired to now maybe singing his praises. I don't think Mavs fans are there just yet. I'm certainly relieved that they do have an opportunity now to at least have something to cheer for, because if they don't land the top overall pick, I don't think Dylan Harper or any other top prospect outside of Cooper Flagg would be able to move the needle after this lost season for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Mavs fans still need to see Cooper Flagg in an actual Mavericks uniform, but this could change their fortunes after nearly sneaking into the playoffs just a few weeks ago. One of their 18 ping pong balls won them the lottery and the right to draft a generational talent. This could change things in Dallas, as within the minute of drafting Cooper Flagg, the franchise's value could actually go up by $1 billion. The Mavs winning the NBA draft lottery alters the course of NBA history. With Cooper Flagg, they could have a franchise cornerstone for the next decade and a half. I personally love this for the Mavs faithful, as like I said, they have been through it the last few months with the backlash of the Luka Doncic trade. But I hate it for management, because there is no management team led by Nico Harrison and the Adelson family that is deserving of this type of bailout. The fact that they put their franchise in this precarious situation only to be bailed out by lucking into the top overall pick makes me think that there's definitely a lot of other factors going into this. But not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, but if I'm a conspiracy theorist, today's the day that I'm beating my chest. But there isn't a front office and ownership group that is so undeserving. However, this is one hell of a consolation prize, which might end up being the main prize depending on how things play out. Let's talk about how Cooper Flagg could fit in with the Dallas Mavericks as presently constructed. If the Mavs do end up drafting Cooper Flagg, which I believe they will, Nico Harrison finally gets his wish, as his catchphrase that he so often used in the last few months, "defense wins championships," will be the focal point of this retooled Dallas Mavericks squad, who has the potential to be the best defense in the NBA. Anthony Davis can play in his more comfortable position at the 4, Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford can slide in at the 5 and make the front court very formidable. And then if you add in Cooper Flagg, who averaged 1.4 blocks a game during his time at Duke, means that it's going to be very hard for opposing offenses to penetrate the paint. Flagg has the versatility to guard on the perimeter and is a proven team defender and help defender. If the Mavs go small, Jason Kidd can deploy him as a weak side shot blocker, and offensively, Cooper Flagg is only scraping the surface of his true potential. Being a 6'9" forward, he also possesses guard-like skills to be able to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. He can also shoot from the perimeter with deadly accuracy. I'd see him being used with the Mavericks as a solid screen and roller with Kyrie Irving whenever he gets back. And of course, this is contingent on if he even re-signs with the Dallas Mavericks, as well as if he returns healthy from an ACL injury that he sustained back in March earlier this year. With Kyrie Irving out an extended amount of time, however, this could develop Cooper Flagg's guard-like abilities, as he could be the guy that initiates the Mavs offense if the Mavs decide to go double big. This could extend his role than being more than just a short roller. Expect Nico Harrison to sign or trade for another guard this offseason while Kyrie Irving is coming back from that ACL injury, as they will need somebody to keep the offense functional while Kyrie Irving is out. And you can't just depend on Cooper Flagg to run the offense. I mean, they have other guards on their roster and they could acquire more backcourt talent, absolutely. But what Cooper Flagg brings is a ton of shot blocking, a ton of perimeter defense, a ton of rim protection, a ton of length, a ton of versatility, a ton of rebounding, and a ton of connectivity between the backcourt and the front court. It's a big if, but if AD can stay healthy and Kyrie Irving returns for the stretch run, next season the Dallas Mavericks could be a playoff dark horse. As Dallas will want to get the most out of Cooper Flagg's first few years in the NBA, but they're working against father time due to the age of this roster. Kyrie Irving is coming off of a devastating knee injury and is 33 years old. Anthony Davis has been injury prone his entire career and he's 32. And the Mavs are still banking in on the potential of this lineup, just like they were when they traded for Anthony Davis and sent Luka Doncic to Los Angeles. But the Mavs with Cooper Flagg, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis could change the NBA landscape. And I wouldn't expect the Mavs to be a true contender in Cooper Flagg's rookie year, but I also wouldn't be surprised by 2027 that they become one of the premier teams in the association. But I'd love to hear your thoughts based on the results of the NBA draft lottery. What do you think the Mavs' ceiling is with Cooper Flagg?